This video is sponsored by my OnlyFans, where I do my meaningful sex educational content, fitness, health, nutrition, relationship advice, and more. Hi guys, and welcome to the Empress Show with me, Gary. And guys, we have something amazing today. So I wanted to prepare, to show you what the heck's happening with the Cleopatra show. But then, as I was looking for, the sites where some of the info is, all those things, I just opened Twitter to see, what Adele James responded to people, because that's, part of the news. And I saw this, that I am blocked. And I was like, how the heck am I blocked? I didn't do anything. I mean, I didn't tweet to her. I just did my Cleopatra video. Actually, two videos, one with my friend Logan, and then the other one in which I explained how the real Cleopatra was actually looking like based on a lot of evidence. Not just nonsense pulled out of anyone's butt just because they have feelings and all those things. Just, based on facts that actually, help everyone. And yes, they also help even the Black community, because they're not getting their actual queens represented on screen, and we don't know anything about them, and they're awesome. Actually, when I started researching these things, there's one particular that is called the Kantake, and Metatron did a video about that, so you should go and check this out. It's his latest video about the Cleopatra stuff, and he's actually making an amazing case, about how these queens exist. These amazing Black queens do exist, and they don't need to take someone else from history and just race swap them for absolutely no reason. And actually, the other day I was talking to one of my amazing, well, it is very hard to describe her, but she's one of the best Bulgarian authors, singers from the past. She's a lot of things, and she didn't know that. So I was like, well, did you know that they turned Cleopatra black? And she was like, what? What is this travesty? And then I explained what happened, and she was like, what an absolute hubris. Yeah. So guys, let's get to this, because there's really a lot to this. So yeah, I'm amazed that I'm blocked, and I posted a community tab here, and some of you said that it was like a blockchain. If I followed someone that Adele James doesn't like, I will also be blocked. I don't really follow a lot of people, so I don't know. I really don't know. She doesn't have like a huge Twitter account, but I really doubt that she blocked me personally. I really do. Anyway, whatever happened, guys, I am blocked. Like, for the first time in my life, I'm blocked by an actress, and it's by the actress that will now be known as, the main actress that oh Jesus, that plays in the worst rated TV show ever. So I'm going to check your comments real quick, and then we're going to continue, because we do have a lot to go through, and it's absolutely amazing, guys. So hi to my Primarchs in the chat, and of course Imperator and Evan as well. So they didn't notice the Greek nose in all the Cleopatra depictions. No, they did not. And in the previous videos I did say that for what is worth, I did a cosplay of Cleopatra a few years ago, and well, I look more like freaking Cleopatra than Adele James, but anyway, the real Cleopatra wasn't that beautiful, so that's another topic actually. I'm not saying anything about myself, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that pretty much any any person that it's from this region and it's white and looks good enough could like count for, looking more like Cleopatra than Adele James. And this is not to, attack Adele James, because she's just an actress that has been cast to play Cleopatra. But then again, she is also, you know, in this whole scam, sham, whatever you can call it. And she did prove that with what the heck she did say. So we're going to go through this. Now, check this out, guys, check this out. Right now we are standing at Rotten Tomatoes and 10 freaking percent from critics and audience score of 2. This is ridiculous, so funny, I just can't. Okay, let me just click on things for a bit. And Mad Max, it's you! Hi! Okay guys, I gotta keep this in a video format, as you know, so anything that you want to ask me, anything that you want to say, you can, keep it for like the end of the stream, because I will not be able to go through all the comments for sure. So, let's see, there's 10 reviews from critics, whatever the critics said, and I see that actually, in order for you to see this, I gotta click on it in OBS so you can see it, and not in the actual browser. So let me see, clicking on the 10 reviews, here it is. Okay, so it is, wow, this is a bit, okay. So can you see it? Yes, you can see it. It is patchy sub Game of Thrones cosplay interwoven with academics you've never heard of. Amazing! Bravo to Camilla Long, whoever she is. Yes, yeah, they are not existent. It's not very good overall. It lacks context, personality, and a reason for being made. Yeah. Reenactments, mostly for it, are brought back to Earth with excellent background provided by experts. It's stunning how much is known about the Queen. Hers was an extraordinary life, but much of what we know thanks to Hollywood is pure rot. That kind of confused me, because, well, never mind. While the information is comprehensive, the presentation works against the scholarly authority by creating melodramatic sequences, which cringy sequences that comes across as fiction rather than fact. Yeah. Okay, I mean, these reviews actually surprised me. I thought that they could be a bit more, worse. But anyway, let's continue now, because there are just a lot of things, guys. So yeah, this is the worst rated TV show ever, for sure. And I'm actually very interested to go through another another writer who is just very good. I gotta show you, at least tell you about her channel. So I'm gonna let you know just a sec, guys. Actually didn't want to mention this, because there's just a lot of things to go through, but I think it's worth it, so you can make the contrast and search for yourself and see who I'm talking about. So, The Murder of Cleopatra, History's Greatest Cold Case. This book, my dear Clayton, thank you Clayton, he found it for me on PDF. Sadly, there is no audio version, but I have to use some kind of a TTS to read it, because otherwise I just can't. I need it in audio form. So this is written by Pat Brown, and she is a nationally known criminal profiler, television commentator, author, and founder and CEO of the Pat Brown Criminal Profiling Agency. So she has a YouTube channel, go check it out. She's making a YouTube series right now about the book. Of course, if you want all the detail, you gotta get the book, which is basically what I did. So in that, she actually refutes a lot of things that we thought that were true, like the carpet rolling out and all those things. So it's really important, guys, for us to check sources, check how things are. I mean, there's a lot of things in history, guys, and this is what I've learned since I was a kid because I actually love ancient Egyptian history. That's like my number one thing. From all history, this is the one thing that it's like my true passion. So I have learned that, scientists themselves make very ridiculous conclusions based on almost nothing sometimes, and we just repeat that over and over again, and nobody really questions it. And that is why, stuff like investigating in a different ways can bring more truth to something. And that is why this author thinks that Cleopatra is actually murdered. She did not die by suicide from snake, all of that. So if you want to know more, sorry, about that, just go to her channel and check what she says. Just amazing. And Maddie, thanks for the super chat. Not interested in seeing any of these woke stuff. I should see if I'm blocked as well. Yeah. Yeah, by the way, yeah, go and see if you're also blocked. Yeah, that's a great idea. As well, since you and I are friends on Twitter, you're not blocked. Oh, that's interesting. So if you're not blocked, that blockchain theory, could that be true? And since I'm going to talk a lot, guys, sorry about that, I'm going to have some water. So guys, so now let's look at what freaking Adele James said. And I'm going to try to go through at least the beginning parts of Metatron's latest video, because he also takes a look at what Jada Pinkett Smith said as well, which is very important. And then he talks about this real African queen, the Kandake, which everyone should know about. But we're not going to see that because we have to go and see his video anyway. The topic is not thus anyway. So the Netflix Queen Cleopatra star responds to fundamentally racist casting backlash. Well, first, let's just say off the bat that nobody is freaking. I mean, so most of the people that will ever criticize something like this, which is just, a travesty, breaking history, rewriting history, all of that, they will not be racist in any way. If anything, the creators of this show, they are racist because they think that it's a lot better for you to just race swap everyone. But anyway, we're going to talk about more because she did say some things that I just have to address in a similar manner anyway. So yeah, I think it's distressing for anybody to receive any level of abuse, let alone the scale of the nature of what I've received, British actor said. Well, sorry about that. I mean, I never, I don't think, that you should go and harass anyone for any reason. It just, that's bad. But this does not excuse, in general, her attitude towards this whole things and the things that she said. So continue on. Apparently she was on some kind of a podcast, and those are some of the things that she said that are extracted from that. So I would be naive of me to say that I didn't expect anything at all, but I didn't expect the scale of it, she told host someone, Steph McGovern. And I think it's distressing for everybody. Yeah, I already read that. Which is fundamentally racist, all of it. Okay, what the heck, like the freaking hubris. The audacity. How can you say that people are racist when you are the racist? You and Jada Pinkett Smith and everyone that did the show and stood by it are the racists because, once again, you have all the evidence that you need. We know we have depictions of Cleopatra. Freaking Zaki Hawass even digged out one of the latest mini heads of Cleopatra. He is still working on stuff. You can see there's a new actually documentary on YouTube. Of course, it's like a YouTuber made documentary, but this guy went and asked Zaki Hawass to participate. He was absolutely direct by saying that Cleopatra was not black, and this is obvious. Although yes, we don't know her mother, But we do know that the Ptolemies had a history of inbreeding between themselves, and even if she had some Armenian or whatever, like two, three, four generations behind her, everyone else were absolutely white. So she would be absolutely white. I mean, her predominant genes would still be white as they could be. And she always consistently is depicted with the classical Greek features that we know. So, yeah, I mean, I could have such genes for all I know. I have no idea. Bulgarians are, ancient. From ancient trace. They are also Slavic, so it's like the combination of the two. And we actually came from Asia, but we are not Asians. Like nobody knows even that. I mean, half of the world doesn't know half of the world's history anyway. So people just make stuff up. So yeah, we came from Asia. Like, get your mind around that, but we are not Asians. We came here, in Eastern Europe. We conquered all the three seas, like the Black Sea, the White Sea, and so on. We conquered all of that. We were huge. We were, very dominant. At one point, we were conquered. In the end, by the Ottoman Empire. We were enslaved for 500 years. We, the freaking whitest white people, get. Well, Irish people are even whiter. Uh, and were tortured, killed, boiled in huge vats, like we're, I don't know what, chicken. Atrocities to no end. I had to mention this a lot of times, just to remind everyone that don't know me that I'm from Eastern Europe. So, you know, I could have some Macedonian, ancient Macedonian, Greek, genes also. I just have no idea. All I know is that my eyes are blue and my hair is, natural hair color is light brown with some blonde, like pure blonde strikes of hair here and there. That's my natural hair color. So there. Anyway, anyway, guys, continuing. I don't want to digress, and I'm going to see your comment just a second, guys. So, continuing, people are talking about the wrong things. She continued. Yes, we don't know where her mother was from, or or her paternal grandmother. But also, the show is about so much more than the question mark over her race. What the hell are you talking about, Adele James? What are you talking about? Yeah, once again, I explained about the missing link, her mom, grandmother, whatever. But you cannot depict someone that wasn't a particular race as that race. You cannot make stuff up. Period. You can't. Because next thing you know, we can just make whoever it is that is not white, another type of, not white, sorry, whoever it is that is black, Asian, or whatever. And this would totally change who they are, where they came from, their lineage, their people, their freaking culture even. This is extremely important. This is integrity of history. This is not helping anyone. This is not helping the black community, black people in general. This is this is also stomping on your own freaking history. So hard. You don't realize it, but it is so. And once again, as I said last time, for Jada Pinkett Smith to do this, basically she is saying, well, I do not respect our own heritage because I'm not going to make a documentary about the real African queens, like the Kandake, and I'm just going to steal from history, from another culture, and make that race swap that queen and tell everyone that she was black. How is this helping absolutely anyone? And she also said that this is for her daughter. Oh, is this for Willow? So Willow is what now? Delusional, stupid, idiotic young woman that wants to be lied to. Is that it? Is that what you want for your kid, Jada Pinkett Smith? Is that the next thing that you're going to ruin? Except, besides, Will Smith's life. Like, what are you doing? This is not good for everyone, anyone in general, for the future. Lies could be freaking cancer in a lot of ways, and they are. So then she continues, if you watch it, it's a very small part of the conversation, really. This is about the fullness of who this woman was, and she was a human being, and she shouldn't be reduced to her race any more than I should or anybody should. Oh, well, why did you reduce her to her race then? Why did you change? I mean, if race doesn't freaking matter, and it does matter, why did you change it then? Why did you feel the need to change history? Who do you think you are to change history? That's what I want you to ask Adele James, who blocked me on Twitter in some way or another. you know. So their logic is so dumb, and they just don't realize that it's bad for them too. I just don't understand. Okay, let's see what else. If I can see something else here. Okay, James appeared. Who? Someone? Okay, the controversy is about Cleopatra being black. I don't hear anybody saying that Julius Caesar is a homosexual from Manchester. We are just actors at the end of the day, and sometimes our morality gets called into play. We're dropping actors. What you're trying to switch the topic here? He could be bisexual, but what I know, not homosexual. So what are you even talking about? He was attracted to freaking Cleopatra. She was 21, like 21 years old when she met Caesar. He was like 50 something, and he was very taken by her, normally, because she knew how to present herself. Not that she was very beautiful, but she knew how to present herself, which made her beautiful in a lot of people's eyes, Okay. So James also spoke about support of the docudrama narrator and exclusive producer Jada Pinkett Smith. So it's not only that she was a freaking producer, and she also had to narrate. She was so involved in the casting process. She watched all of our audition tapes. She was giving feedback on the rushes when we were out in Morocco shooting, and she's just been such a champion of the project from the very beginning. I mean, it's her baby. Yes, and because she is racist, she decided to cast a black actress, because she's black. So, and then that other person that said that her grandma told her that no matter what they tell you is cool, Cleopatra was black. Oh, really? So yeah, I will make a documentary. I'm just going to ask someone else's grandma to just tell me what the heck was, I don't know, Gorbachev doing, when he was alive, I guess. And she's going to say, when on the news I heard about this. I'm gonna be like, okay, are you sure that this happened? I heard it. And I'm going to be like, taking notes. We'll start filming. Not gonna fact check anything. Grandma said it. Oh my gosh. Okay. So Adele James continues. She's an African queen, and I feel like it just couldn't be more pertinent. What the heck is this word? And important. And she's the figurehead of this. She's an icon. She's talking about this like it's 2023. I mean, that we are taking a look at the queen from a 2023, like this year. She lived not this year. Sorry, Adele James. Okay, before we continue, I'm going to check your comments now, because I'm sure that they're interesting. Oh, hi to Sean Evans. You agree? Okay. Unfortunately, neither am I. Also, dear Clayton is not blocked as well. Wow, interesting. That is the left here, Empress. We have a saying: those that scream the loudest or make the big scene, they're the guilty. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Oh, they're gaslighting. People outrage over our comments about history, so we'll tell half the truth about them and say they're criticized the casting because of biases. 8:30, 8:30, 2. Yeah, dear Ivy. I mean, you cannot criticize anything because they're just going to say that you're racist when they are clearly the racist. Like, can you imagine if some like white producers, white everything come and be like, we are going to make a documentary about the wonderful Michael Jackson. Yeah, Michael Jackson, sorry. And we are going to cast someone white to play him. Yeah. Great idea. Do it. Like, what do you think is gonna happen then? A scandal, a worldwide scandal. And the majority of people that are going to complain about this are going to be the white people, actually, because they are more in number in general. So, yeah. Anyway, so, so Imperator says, yep, they think we are Slavs. Uh, sorry, Imperator, I'm not sure from which country were you, so you gotta remind me of that if you told me before. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's nonsense. Oh, wait a second. Are you Bulgarian? You gotta tell me. But yeah, that's nonsense. All they needed to do was to clarify this is a historical fiction, and we did take our own liberties. It's the fact that the show claims to be a documentary level. Yeah, and there's so many actually Egyptian, like real Egyptologists that were asked in this YouTube documentary, not only Zahi Hawass, but others that are very, very, very good. Very good. Um, yeah, but they were not asked to participate in the Cleopatra Netflix documentary. And you know, there is a new Arnold documentary now, and I am happy that Arnold is the one speaking and he's not played by I don't know who like name any black actor really. Yeah. Okay. Continuing. Oh my god. Sorry, just almost midnight here. Okay. And know stupidity grows on people, not on trees. Bulgarian saying, just to be clear, we are not discussing politics here, but facts and history. Yes. Um, your eyes are hypnotic. What, my eyes? Thank you. Okay, let me see. I did, especially the news. I did miss some comments, so hold on. That's why I say really to, you know, comment at the end if you want to tell me something personally. Okay, I may miss some comments. And Jordan, hi to Jordan. Not everyone will have the heart you have. Not everyone will appreciate you and what you do for them. Sometimes it won't be easy having a kind heart in a cruel world. Well, that is true. Boy, I did feel that a lot, yes. That's the American way. Don't listen to your teachers. Make your own style up. It is sad, but true. Last time someone told me I had magic powers, I tried to cast teleport and it didn't work. I must have done something wrong because there is no way I was lied to. Alternative facts, ha ha ha. Yeah. That's a bad choice because Michael Jackson was black and white. Well, he was, yeah, as we all know, he was pure black. It's just that he did all of the procedures to make himself look white and all of that. But you know, when I was a kid, I didn't think, oh my gosh, what is this? What is this black man doing on screen? I had no such thoughts. I loved him. I loved Whitney Houston. I loved Janet Jackson. I loved Eddie Murphy. I loved like so many people, and I haven't seen, by that point, I have not even seen a black person in my real life. And how I actually have the pleasure to know from like a week or two ago a woman that actually lives here in my quarter of the city, and she has a very beautiful puppy because since I have puppies I actually get to know a lot of people here from around where I live, and it's absolutely amazing. I met some amazing people. I made some new friends that yeah, it's just really interesting to have a puppy. You just get to know people on the street, you know. So yeah, I have met a woman here with a Bulgarian name that's actually black. It's super awesome. So yeah, that's the first person that I know in real life here. Uh, yeah, it's just great. But pretty much in Bulgaria, you can't see a black person. I mean, so often. Before 3 4 years ago, it was like one person a year, maybe. Now it's like two or three person every few months. So it's getting more often, but still, it is extremely rare to see anyone that is not white in Bulgaria. Sometimes you see Asian people if you go to a Chinese restaurant, of course. On the street, very rarely, very, very rarely. And then we have the gypsies that you will also see very often, but still 90% of the time just see white people here. I'll just let you know how things are here. Okay. Reading. You should have used What If They Did a movie about Abraham Lincoln and they cast him as black. Yeah, that too, Jordan, that too. Ireland documentary, nice, should be interesting. Yeah, I would love to see that. YouTube chat is being slow and buggy. Is it? Hope not. Remember the movie Jason and the Argonauts? They called Orpheus a guy from Thrace, Central Bulgaria, as a black guy. I never seen that, but I've heard about it. Yeah. So a guy from Thrace. And I watched the Metatron video about the gladiators, and one type of a gladiator was a Trax, and those are the guys from Thrace. So basically the Bulgarians, which is really cool, which actually means that, Spartacus was Bulgarian. Pretty damn cool, if you ask me. I'm happy about that. Yazon and, yeah, on Hallmark, okay. Yes, Yazon and the Argonauts, yeah. Thank you, Imperator. But you didn't say, are you a Bulgarian? Just say yeah or nay. Okay, let me now go and we can check Metatron's video, at least the beginning part of it. So hold on. So you can see what Jada said. The amazing Jada, guys.
Three things will happen today.
Yeah, let's try.
Spoken by Queen Cleopatra's director. Second, we'll review the words spoken by Queen Cleopatra's producer, Jada Pinkett Smith. And then three... What?
So yeah, you are from Bulgaria. Awesome. Здрасти. Merci, че гледаш. Okay.
Who's there? Will Smith is here? Okay, tell him to wait. Alright, send him in. Surprise! Three, and mark my words on this one, freaking screenshot
Няма проблем. Не се притеснявай.
This. I will do more with this video to help, support, and, since they like this word, empower black people as a whole, and specifically black women, than this mockery of a documentary ever could. Am I promising a lot? Well, put me to the test on section 2 of this video. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the Metatron speaking. This is the second video I make on the topic of Netflix Cleopatra. Not because I particularly enjoy talking about it, but simply because the official responses of the director and producer of this farce, namely their responses to the backlash they...
Oh my gosh, he said farce. It's perfect. It's perfect. By the way, I did write to Metatron on Facebook for a potential collab, particularly on the topic of movie armor versus real armor. You know how ancient historical armor in movies is presented to be pretty freaking weak, and every sword just goes through it straight away, which is totally not true because ancient armor did work. So yeah, I offered that to him because he once said that he likes to help smaller channels. If that ever happens, I'm gonna let you know. I doubt it, but just to let you know, I did that. So yeah, we'll see if there's anything from it someday.
Justifiably received, managed to make their case in the eyes of the public even worse than it already was. And that's saying something, considering the staggering like to dislike ratio on their trailer. You would think they couldn't possibly make it worse for themselves, but oh, they did. And this is not just to make fun of the laughable statement that we could all, of course, predict. If you don't like it, it's because you're racist. Literally, this word has been misused and overused so much it completely lost any power and now means absolutely nothing. They literally call racist anyone for anything. Since the word racist doesn't mean anything anymore, let's make a new definition right now. Racist, definition, a person who participates to a race. Example, 32 enthusiastic racists were ready to begin their Grand Prix. Let's read. Why shouldn't Cleopatra be a melanated sister? And why do some people need Cleopatra to be white? Her proximity to whiteness seems to give her value, and for some Egyptians it seems to really matter. Let's make this crystal palace clear. We don't need her to be white. No one needs her to be white. We only want her to look Greek, because she was. Greek. Greek. For a small disclaimer that it won't matter, if it was proven by documented facts and evidence that she was in fact 100% black or even 50% black and a documentary showed her and represented her to be white, I would bitch all the same. As I have demonstrated on my video on whitewashing, I am against all sorts of washing. Let's just represent people how they actually were. Doing the research, goodness gracious, I already have a problem with this statement, it's just the beginning of the sentence. And justifiably so. Considering the results of such research, one cannot help but ask, how was this research in fact conducted? Considering the fact that the overwhelming evidence, according to the concurrent understanding over the spectrum of available data, points towards a direction that is completely different to what you have represented. That is a fair question. Since you chose to use the word research and you chose to use the word documentary, what analytic methods and research procedures have you implemented to ensure reliable data collection? Likewise, on a broader scale, what methodology and criteria have you used to select the most fitting and appropriate historical figures for this, once again, historical Black Queen documentary series of yours?
Yes, I would answer Metatron. It was their grandma.
Well, the results of this research clearly indicate two possibilities. Either there is a catastrophic lack of the interdisciplinary expertise in the range of quantitative and qualitative methods needed for high-quality research, or the motivations behind making this documentary was never to tell the historical truth, but it was in fact a political message. Spoiler alert, it's the latter. As she herself stated. Check this out. Doing the research, I realized what a political act it would be to see Cleopatra portrayed by a black actress. She later says, I realized the magnitude and political nature of this job. She said it in her own words. So in other words, you've just demonstrated that in the production of your documentary, when a historical individual fails to meet a specific arbitrary criteria you have chosen, namely, the queen needs to be black no matter what, your solution to the matter is not to actually choose a black queen, it's to race swap. Outrage? This is nothing. Check this out. Here is a comment the director received from an Egyptian in Cairo.
Okay, first to comment on that. It's so dumb. I mean, she's so freaking dumb to say this directly, to admit that they decided this for sure to be a political move. So you are deciding to do this for politics, aka, well, being racist on purpose.
Comment she specifically considered to be ridiculous. That is, of course, before they completely removed the possibility to leave comments in that documentary trailer. Freedom of speech, bye-bye. She says, Amir in his bedroom in Cairo wrote to me to earnestly appeal that Cleopatra was Greek. Oh lord, why would that be a good thing to you, Amir? You're Egyptian. So let me get this logic straight. Amir is Egyptian, hence he cannot like the historical truth that a character is Greek because that does nothing to him. Hence, he must not fight for historical accuracy because he's not Greek. So, from the point of view of this person, the coherent representation of historical characters does nothing for people unless they happen to coincide with their ethnicity. Who's obsessed with skin and ethnicity now? Who's the racist? Us or her?
Her. And another thing, guys. So these people are so dumb. I mean, the woke people in general, that they cannot imagine that you can care about someone else, other people from other colors, in general, other people that are not, well, exactly like yourself, that you cannot like anything that is not exactly representing you ever. So by that logic, I never liked, the movies, actors that I mentioned in the music. I never liked Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, never watched the movies of Eddie Murphy, never watched, there was one TV show with a lot of black people in it, mostly not the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but another one. I just don't remember the name. So never listened to Destiny's Child. Never liked Beyonce before she went crazy. Uh, yeah, I totally did not like a lot. Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee. They're not white, so why would I like them? By that logic, like who is so freaking in a box and so freaking racist to think like this? It's just so ridiculous, just stupid. And I also didn't watch any action movies at all. Not Arnold's movies, no. Not Sylvester Stallone, not Jean-Claude Van Damme, not The Matrix with Keanu Reeves, not John Wick. Now, not any movie that had any man in it, because I'm not a man. So what? By that logic, then I shouldn't watch almost anything anymore, and I shouldn't like it because I don't see me represented. I mean, where can I see a white girl from Bulgaria with blue eyes, exactly like mine, that does her makeup exactly like me and has exactly the same hair and goes to the gym? I mean, trains. I go to my home gym. Has two puppies. It's a gamer. Knows a lot about other things that I cannot list because there's too many of this. Oh my god. Uh, Everything that it's me. I cannot see such a person, why? Because it's me, that's me. So unless I just want to watch me, just so I can't even say it. It's so dumb the way that those people think. Oh my god, they're so what self-centered. They're like just the freaking hubris. Okay, again, continuing.
You be the judge. Also, while you do that, just want to let you know that I came out with my new ring,
Oh
the
yeah,
ring of
that.
important for me as well. Absolutely, but not while making a documentary. We needn't. Let me white
Okay.
supremacy and the in video where I explain what this is. We already got a lot of orders. Thank you so much.
Continuing.
Stand for historical truth, brothers. She then proceeds to add, we need to have a conversation with ourselves about our colorism and the internalized white supremacy that Hollywood has indoctrinated us with. White supremacy has literally zero to do with wanting historical characters to be represented in an historically accurate way, particularly when the word documentary is used. She says we need to liberate our imaginations. Absolutely, but not while making a documentary. We needn't. Let me liberate my imagination and say that the ancient Roman Empire actually never existed. Oh, wait. Moving on to actress and series producer Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yes, before that, just to say, I'm going to liberate my imagination. Imagine that I was actually Xena, warrior princess, in my previous life, and I also ruled Egypt. When the original Cleopatra was killed, and Xena went to take her place to find out who the heck killed Cleopatra. Now that was a great episode, okay?
Jada Pinkett Smith defended the decision for a black Cleopatra as important. Let's see why it's important. We don't often get to see or hear stories about black queens, and that was really important for me as well as for my daughter, and just for my community to be able to know those stories because there are tons of them. There are tons of them, and underline this. The sad part is that we don't have readily access to these historical women who were so powerful and were the backbones of African nations, Smith said. No. The sad part is that in order to see black queens for you, for your daughter, for your community, you chose to race swap a character who we know was Greek instead of using a real black warrior queen, one of tons, as you said, effectively wasting a massive opportunity to actually show a real black warrior queen. And this is what really gets me. You had the money and the power to do what you said you would do, and instead you chose to slap the face of your people because
Yeah.
actions speak louder than words.
And
And
our
by
faces
choosing
too.
a queen of Greek descent to be represented as a black queen, you basically publicly stated that of all the actual black queens of African history, none of them was interesting, and you had to go look for a Greek white queen instead and make her black. If I were black, I'd feel betrayed. If your
Yeah.
intent, madam, was really guided by the goal of having a transformative impact into the educational aspect of the historically based film industry, in the sense that all we see is white people's history, why don't we see some black people's history on screen? Then you would have chosen a real historical black warrior queen, one of the many you mention, but you clearly don't know anything about.
Yeah.
Now,
That's
if
the
you're
sad
like me and
thing.
you like to serve the
She doesn't know anything about.
change your country through the $80 and big thank I will now
Okay.
deliver what I have promised. I will use my platform to do what you could and should have done with your documentary. I will now tell you about the most fearsome historical black women warrior queens from real, historical, documented, recorded history.
Yes, and you go, guys, and watch that about the Kandaki because it's amazing. Okay. So yeah, we went through the fact that the producer said and admitted that this was a political act. We went through the nonsense of Jada Pinkett Smith, and we went through the nonsense of Adele James, who has blocked me on Twitter. Yay! Me, someone that actually looks more like Cleopatra. But anyway, like I said, I'm not going to, yeah, tune my own horn or whatever. So, Imperator what? Well, do not like chaos and tyrannies except Zinch. He secretly likes humans and Big E. He likes science and progress and change. He is Aquarius. Okay. Pinkin is just looking for a fight for the sake of fake racism. Oh, I don't know. I think that she wanted to do this and get away with it. But we're not going to let her get away with it. Yeah, the great Queen of Kush. Empress take the block is a badge of honor and a compliment. Yeah, I would if I only knew that she personally blocked me, but I just very much doubt that. The kingdom of Kush was a power, ruled Egypt for a century at one of its weakest times. Yeah, and they have their own history besides ruining Egypt, anyways. So, guys, that's gonna be it. But let us all celebrate the fact that finally one woke show is gone so far, so far, because they really want to let's just click on this, really wanted to race swap. So here you go, they did, and we have the result now. I don't think that they should race swap anyone for no matter what reason, no matter if it's fiction or not. I don't think that is correct, because once they start doing that, they will go to real historical figures and well, okay, that happened. That just happened. That's the point. So we shouldn't let anything slide. Not Little Mermaid, not anything. If it's based on, well, if it's written the way if it's written, no matter if it's true or not, fiction, history, just keep it the way it is, because once you change anything about a character, I mean, race swap them, especially, you change the character entirely. Just not the same character anymore. So just don't do that, okay? Force force diversity. When you force it, just to do it, just for the sake of doing it, it's wrong by principle. So just don't do it. Okay. Let me just see some of these comments real quick. Poor choice of cast. Yeah, you can also see that on screen. As a fan of historical dramas, I had high expectations, but what high expectations? High expectations when you see the trailer, like what? It's just ridiculous to begin with. Okay, anyway. Oh, reading. And hi to Beta. I haven't seen you in ages since Cleopatra was alive. It does feel like the momentum of that movement is dying. A year ago, a huge amount of people would tag pointing this out. It's mostly crickets. Yeah, basically only the creators of the show, people that are involved, are defending this now. Seems like definitely a badge of honor. Also, you lack the Greek nose of Cleopatra. Thankfully, yeah, it's straight, like straight. I actually don't like my nose that much. I mean, I never did. I don't know. I just, I just didn't. But a lot of people like it. I don't know why. Okay. Well, this is straight. And it's, I don't need to cut it off or something. Not that I have the money to do that, but, I'm thankful. I'm thankful for what I have. Not gonna complain. Honestly, this show just doesn't seem like it's aiming for big audiences. I don't know, something about it. It's way too tired. Yeah, I would say those people are just pretty freaking pathetic. And maybe Adele James is a good actress otherwise, but if she's going to, go out of her way to be totally racist towards everyone, including freaking Egypt, that's just not okay. My nose is perfect. Okay. Thank you. I'm embarrassed. That was another way of saying that you look much better. Well, thank you, Imperator. Thank you. GPS, be like, I already destroyed my husband's career. Jagan Pinkensmith. Let's destroy mine. Well, if she wants to be anti-productive like that, like, go ahead, do it, Jada. So, okay, guys. Point is, we gotta talk about this. We gotta be objective about this. I will try to go through this book about Cleopatra's murder, and hopefully, oh, my apologies, guys, but it's midnight. I should be in bed midnight in 12 minutes. So yeah, I really want to go through this book because if there's anything more truthful than what we're used to about Cleopatra, I want to know, since like I've said, Egypt is like my number one history the topic in general, country story. Then it's ancient Greece and ancient Rome. Bulgarian history is okay. I mean, it's great, but it's not that fascinating. I mean, it has fascinating things, don't get me wrong, but I don't take sides just because it's our history. Of course, it's pretty unique. People don't know about it, but I just, what attracts me naturally, it's Egypt. Always have been since I was born. So yeah. If you only knew what Greek nose means for Bulgarians, not positive the least. Yeah, but you're right, in the way that Greeks do have some very distinct features, although they're white, they do have that. So if you see a Greek person, you kind of know that it's a Greek person. It's a white person, but they just have features that can be recognized easily. Whereas Bulgarians, we can be all kinds, really, all kinds of white. And even people with a bit darker skin sometimes, but it's just still Bulgarians. I mean, I just know one person like that. That was like with a bit darker skin, but he still looks white. Not like a gypsy, just still looks white. So I don't know what is heritage. I have no idea. But most people are, white. White. Anyway, Sumerian history rules. You should check their mythology. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's probably interesting. Okay, guys, I love ya. Thank you so much for watching. Sleep well. Hopefully, we see each other tomorrow. And of course, as always, thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support me, Patreon, PayPal, OnlyFans, where you can talk to me personally, and where I give all of my coaching about fitness, health, nutrition, and of course, relationship advice and more, meaningful sex education, all of those things. They didn't consider me white in the Netherlands. Understandable. They didn't? How? I mean, they're pretty white there, but we're as white as them. I don't know. You're taking it way better than me, Empress. I'm all about Egypt mythology and history. This pisses me off. Yes, this is pisses me off. It's just that you also gotta be, a bit more leveled and reasonable and just do your best to channel what has been done, recognize this atrocity towards history and towards everyone, not just white or black or Egyptians, everyone, because this is affecting the whole world and it must not go on. Just gotta be imbalanced and just, do what you can, not get, frustrated. Just do your best, whatever you can, so to speak. That's kind of like the attitude. Well, they are transparent white that I'm not. Okay. Caesar, wanna hear a joke? I like Cicero. Okay. Okay, guys. Love it. Bye bye. With I mean, for me, Gary, the Empress.